Welcome to Leading with Light, a wellspring for the transformational leader that you were born to be, where you can fill up and align, gather and be inspired, and bring your vision to light. Guiding you towards your divine connection and limitless possibilities, here is your host, visionary leader extraordinaire, Sky Ahern. Poof.
Hello, transformational leaders. Welcome to this Love and Light Fest, your sweet spot for stepping up and getting your shine on. I'm your host, Sky Ahern, and you are listening to Leading with Light. Today's guest is Gaby Hansen. Gaby Hansen, artist, healer, and animal communicator and advocate extraordinaire, was born and raised in South Africa, traveled and lived in various places around the world, and currently lives in Spain. Gaby studied and worked as a children's book illustrator for over 25 years, working with publishers in the UK and the US. She now paints on large canvases for private collectors and wildlife charity foundations, such as the Global White Lion Protection Trust, and helps to raise awareness and funding for wildlife preservation. Her deep love for nature, life, and the oneness of all things have, over the years, shown her ways to create from a place of listening to the heart and creating images that bring beauty and inspiration. This deeper connection has become her way of creating. The resulting visionary art is becoming very popular for art buyers and collectors. Gaby also is passionate about the feminine spirit in all things, which led her to study plant medicine, to train as a holistic pelvic care practitioner, and now a theta healer, all of which support the restoration of balance and trust in women's bodies while expanding consciousness, deepening connection with all of life, and living from our ultimate creative potential. You can learn more about Gaby at www.gaby, G-A-B-Y, Hansen, Hansen, .love, L-O-V. Awesome. Welcome to the show, Gaby.
Well, thank you, Sky. Thank you. I'm so lovely to be here with you. Thank you.
You are definitely lovely. And it is quite late in Spain, so I really deeply appreciate you showing up today.
It's great. I love it. Thank you.
Well, you know, it's so good to see your beautiful, shiny face and your elegant spirit. I love seeing you on Zoom often. We get to do this a lot. We've been taking a lot. You've been teaching. I've been teaching a lot of classes, and you've been showing up and learning. And so it's been a delight to get to know you and play with you at all hours.
Yes. Oh, it's been great. I've loved it. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a privilege to be there. Thank you. And so many lovely people that we've met along the way. I've loved it.
We have amazing people we get to play with all the time.
Oh, it's such fun. Yeah, it's great.
Excellent. Well, like we do in all things, let's start with a prayer, okay?
Oh, yay.
Yeah, we'll do a little meditation. We always do in Theta Healing. It's called Walking You Up to the Seventh Plane of Existence. And then we're going to pray. That way we know that whatever comes through in the highest and best way and serves all who listen. So if you'd like to join us in that, we're going to stop, drop, and pray. So just find a comfortable place. If you're driving, heck, pull on over. It'll be worth it. This little meditation and prayer just can change any kind of bad mood. So I highly recommend you do it whenever you need to. So center yourself in your heart and put your feet on the floor. You take a big deep breath in, breathing up the energy of creation, up through the soles of your feet, up into every cell of your body, the back of your spine, all the way up to the crown of your head, and utilize that energy of unconditional love to breathe down the front of your body. Any worry, any stress, anything that you're carrying for other people or yourself, anything you'd like to discreate. I'm going to breathe that energy down into the earth and give that to the Mama Earth and send that to the seventh plane of existence, this place of infinite energy of creation where all things get to be created and discreated. It's just that highest vibration of all that is. We're going to just get that energy out of our bodies, out of the earth, and then watch it transmute into this highest and best sparkly energy, and breathing that energy all the way up again through the core of the earth, all the way up through the different layers of the earth, up into the soles of your feet, your legs, your hips, back of your spine and your torso. Seeing that white sparkly energy fill up every cell in your body to help to align all of your systems, all of your organs. Anything out of balance can be instantaneously given the energy to go back to its prime, balanced, energetic, thriving space. Just let it go. Let it be healed, and see it healed. And so it is. Breathing that energy up the crown of your head. Again, we're going to breathe this down one more time, letting go of any worry and stress and fear, kind of squeezing it out like a dish rag or a sponge, letting it get out of your human body. How much do you babysit the stuff that you want to let go? Now let's stop that. Just drop that into the earth. Watch it burn up in the core of the fiery core of our earth. Giving that to that Pele Mama goddess energy. We're going to send that energy to the seventh plane of existence and watch it go poof. And this time, when we breathe that energy back into our solar system, into the core of our earth, we're going to bless, sending that infinite unconditional love to every molecule on this planet, all the elements, all the atoms, all the neutrinos, all the elements, the water, the earth, the fire, the air, all the fairies, the elves, the divas, the plants, the flora, the fauna, the animals, the humans. Knowing that there's infinite amounts of unconditional love for every being on this earth. If it so chooses to receive that energy to help it have all that it needs, you can spend a while witnessing this. And I highly encourage that you do. But for now, know it is done, it is done, it is done. And breathe that energy up now, knowing that there's still infinite amounts of unconditional love for you into the soles of your feet. Filling up every cell of your feet with this energy, your calves, your knees, your hips, your torso, the back of your spine, your shoulders, your arms, neck, your head, whole entire being, your whole entire body. Coming up out of your space in a beautiful ball of light past the stars, Earth's atmosphere, the stars, the planets, the universe, past the multiverse, even higher, noticing what color your light, your bubble of light around you is. What color is it as you fly past the multiverse, the dark lights, the layers of white lights, and through this thick jelly-like substance, which is the laws of the universe, past all these different colors, you're going to find this pink cotton candy-like color, the law of compassion, feeling that wrap around you like a cozy blanket. You go deep into this energy, and you'll see this white window of sparkly iridescent light, and you're going to go through that. And as soon as you do, it just goes poof, and you see yourself surrounded by this sparkly white energy of creation in your bubble. Reaching up out of your bubble, you're going to gather as much energy as you need and bring it down into your bubble, filling up your whole entire bubble, whole entire body. And let yourself just become that light, seeing that go into each of those cells and in between your cells until it's pushing them further and further apart, and you just go bleep. No worries. There's only love up here. You're safe. You go back into your space and your body at any time, but maybe you want to leave anything unlike unconditional love or any old belief systems or patterns, illnesses or thought processes that aren't for your highest and best in this energy, so they can just discreate. From here, we can do all sorts of amazing healing, and we can pray, Mother, Father, God, creator of all that is, thank you for my life creator. Thank you for this opportunity to be with Gaby today and talk to her about her life creator. And thank you for every listener of Leading with Light, each being who does lead with their light. Bless this time for us together. May it serve everybody in the highest and best way. I hope. You know, we took a little bit extra time with that today, Gaby, because you just love life, don't you?
Yeah, I love it. It's great. It's beautiful. That's what we're here to do.
Yes.
Yeah, life is beautiful.
Well, you are just amazing and beautiful. And what you do in this world is so exciting.
Thank you, Sky. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
so
I've been having a lot of fun, and it's been delightful, and learning more about what you're doing has been fantastic. The theta healing has been great. What an amazing thing to learn, and that you offer it. It's so cool.
it is so, it's such a blessing. And
it really is.
You have so many different interests and so many different talents. And it's so wonderful when people learn theta healing, because theta healing goes with all sorts of different healing modalities and different walks and ways of life. And it really just brings it just augments them and brings it together in a beautiful way. And we were talking about that a little bit earlier about, wow, now after you've learned theta healing, you've been learning you've been taking some classes. Now it's kind of like, now we get to be in the space of how do we put this all together?
Yes, it's very exciting, because there's so many potentials and possibilities with this that I'm looking forward to exploring and sort of getting into more. It'd be great. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yes, I am looking forward to witnessing you do that.
I'm very excited about it. Yeah. It's like being a child in a candy shop. You think, oh, it's got new things to play with, new toys, new sweeties, everything.
Yes. Oh, what does this do? Oh, how about here?
No, it's a bit like that. Great and beautiful. Really nice. And I mean, it's been amazing. You teach, how you offer it is you make it so available and you make it so much fun. And that's how it should be, There's things that are connected to the light are enjoyable and, enjoyable, it's not complicated. Yeah.
No, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Truth is pretty simple.
And
absolutely playful, right? It's so
playful.
Play.
Yeah. Your classes are definitely playful and fun. You make it great.
We do get to giggle a lot.
Yeah.
We cry
and
a
you
tiny
relax.
bit, but we get to giggle a lot more.
Yeah. It's really liberating. It's great. A lot of fun and just a really beautiful space to kind of do quite deep work, actually, so you feel safe, actually.
That's a beautiful thing. You really do need that safety zone.
Yeah, it's imperative, actually. I think if people don't trust in that environment, they won't be able to go into the things that they need to go into,
Right?
Yeah. And you are brilliant at doing that, I have to say.
Thank you so much. It probably is because I help work with little kids when I'm a school teacher. I mean, that's I was, right? And so you always want your babies to feel safe in class, and so that's always an imperative thing. And in this work, we do get to dive into those different layers of when we're little children. So it always feels very, even though I'm working with adults, it always feels very reminiscent of kind of being that mama bear for those little kids in the classroom. They need that space, so.
Yeah, and you do that brilliantly, I have to say. We all feel really loved and seen, and sort of, it's a lovely, lovely space. It's beautiful. I mean,
I'm so grateful.
You're gifted at that.
Thank you so much.
So it's been wonderful. I'm really, really glad to have found you and your classes. It's been great.
Thank you so much, Gabby.
Thank you.
It's so lovely to have you there. And you know what amazes me all the time is that we just have these amazing, beautiful souls that are gathering, and we're creating this little what people have been calling the Sky High Vibe Tribe.
Yes.
Just a gathering of magical little sparkly unicorns, just like learning, loving, and tapping into our magic.
Absolutely. And for some reason you make that really available for people. So you have got access to magic, magical feeling. It's so sweet. You sort of make magic happen somehow. You certainly create that feeling, and the amazing thing is miracles and miraculous things happen, in your classes,
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you get to watch miracles all the time, you're going to get kind of giggly and kind of silly and playful. And you can get down to business at the same time, of course.
Yeah.
But
absolutely. And the business can be good and fun. I mean, while it's sort of serious.
Yeah. But when you get to watch the miracles all the time and magic, I mean, come on, woohoo!
Beautiful. Yeah.
It doesn't
And
get
I've experienced it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I do want to hear about that pretty soon. But let me ask you this question. What inspired you to take that first basic Theta Healing course in the first place?
Well, I've over the years with all the different metaphysical, I mean, I've been very blessed to have some amazing metaphysical teachers, and I know about all the various sort of alpha, beta, and theta states and what they can all do. And I've learned that theta state can create amazing things in that state, and just the connection to the light. And it just felt like the right time, and I was really drawn. I just, something really called me into it, and it's just about listening to that. So I thought, it's time. I need to explore this a bit more. And then I came across you. So I looked through the Theta website, and I saw your face, and I thought, this is the person for me. And so I just felt that I was drawn to you, and I'm really pleased that I was. So, and I thought, well, she's the time zone. I thought, I just this is going to be worth it. I just know whatever it takes, we have to do it. Yes, and it has been, because wow, some of the things that have transpired through the Theta have been really beautiful, and it's really expansive. I cannot express enough how remarkable and profound that the work is. I mean, we're making it sound really fun and fluffy, but it's deeply profound work and life-changing. I mean, really life-changing on all levels.
So nice to let go of some of those old things that have been a lot of baggage, a lot of human baggage, just dragging around, not really knowing how to get rid of it, and finally actually do, instead of moving the little luggage suitcases around in a room, it's actually, you get to just go poof and just create them. And I mean, we teach you how to do that. It's not that simple in the very beginning, but it is, if you follow the simple steps and then you practice. And you just joined us the other day for one of our practice groups, our Sky's Limitless practice groups, and that was really fun.
Really fun. Yeah, beautiful, really great. And one can't do enough of that, I have to say, because there's no end to the learning and growing. And I mean, what I found particularly amazing is it's not only just it's the fact that you don't always know that you have a limiting belief. I find that in this work, it's becoming aware of limiting beliefs that you didn't even know that you had. You don't even know this big wall is around you until the wall isn't there anymore. And you think, oh my goodness, I didn't even know that. That is what is really amazing about this. So the work really brings that out, where people can sort of really discover their sort of limit, what limitations they're living with without even being aware of them. So that's miraculous in itself, actually.
So we need to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, and we'll be right back. Hello, beautiful souls. Rare and special event. Like a super rare unicorn sighting, Sky is teaching some of the foundational Theta Healing certification courses online. It is one blazing rainbow of a portal opening up for a life-changing experience, all from the comfort of your own home. If you're interested in joining me, learning from my years of service to this international community, it's time to make your dreams come true and share with you one of the most powerful tools used to bring us into alignment, direct connection to the highest vibration of all that is, to ramp up your manifestation skills, all while creating impeccable discernment and empowering you with a map to the universe and beyond that will serve you the rest of this life and throughout lifetimes to come. If you're ready to step in, this is your time. If you're ready to clear your limiting beliefs and trauma that you haven't been able to get rid of this whole lifetime, pain or suffering, and general overall cosmic crap that you may think has been serving you,
and move forward to be the most epic, brilliant, sparkly representation of self on this earth in a human body, this is one of the most potent steps I've discovered over the last almost 2 decades throughout all my travels, hanging out with all these healers all over the world that can help you get that for yourself. Taking these foundational certification courses with me after I've helped write and create these very foundational courses of Theta Healing that have made it internationally renowned and traveled around the world with the founder Vianna Steibel and her husband Guy is a unique, powerful transmission, a download in itself that you don't want to miss. Plus, I'm effing magical. After all, cell does talk to cell, and light travels faster than the speed of light, and light just is. For more details and how to register for upcoming courses, go to www.skyislimitless.com. Go to the Work with Sky section, and then you'll see all about Theta Healing certification. That's www.skyislimitless.com. Or you can just go to the show notes and click on the link there.
I'm back here with Gaby Hansen, and I just love her so much. I can remember when you were feeling that in the beginning in the class, and you were saying something about what it felt like not to have those limitations and boundaries there, holding you back. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was sort of after the first day. I think, I don't know if it was the first, because I'm thinking back now, because I've done quite a few classes with you, and it may have been after doing one of the first classes, completing it. It was 2 or 3 days later, and I was sort of sitting outside. I remember just this, I suddenly thought, wow, I just feel incredibly light and expansive, and I could literally, sometimes I see things visually, for myself, and I could just see this open, where there were sort of barriers where things were just open around me. It's like scaffolding had been removed from around me, and it was amazing. I was really, really surprised by it. It really impacted me. It was a big surprise. I didn't realize it would be so impacting so immediately. In how I felt, and how little things change in your life, bit by bit around that.
Well, and that's a really good thing to think about, because when we change different things, we're using that energy of creation. And at first, the body, the person, the being recognizes as lightness. I just feel lighter, a sense of lightness or tingly or expansiveness. And as that energy, it doesn't go away, it stays with you, right? And as it kind of like sprinkles into your life and gets in between your little cells, it starts creating, these possibilities that come into that physical space. At first, it's just energetic, and then it starts creating magic in your life and in the physical opportunities and different experiences in relationships and stuff. And I know that when we took that, when I just recently, and just, a couple months ago, as actually last month, we taught that manifesting in abundance class. You were in that class.
It was epic. That was miraculous, amazing.
And we'd actually had a little bit of consultation, a private consultation, a few days before that, and we were just talking about, I've always, when I choose to do something in my life, and I choose it for self and soul, I usually go up to Creator and say, okay, make this so. This is for self and soul. I'm going to show up and do my work, make the stars align, the money come in or whatever, come in and make it so. So I was sharing that with you. And then like 4 days later, we're in the class. It was after our first day of class. And then, can you share what happened?
Oh, yes. It was after the first day in the class, and I finished at about, because of the time zone, it was sort of midnight around then for me. And I went and looked at my phone before I was going to bed, and I had a message from someone about work that was coming in, and it was really kind of, it was just like brain boggling, this enormous order of paintings for this hotel, like 100 paintings. after the first day of the abundance course. I mean, that's just like unthinkable. You know, it was really, really miraculous. I thought, wow, that's pretty impressive. I mean, I've never ever had something like that happen before.
Yeah,
so that was like a miracle.
Yeah, you paint on very large canvas. I mean, what's the size of canvas that you paint on?
All sorts of sizes. So they range from small to big ones, and I'm about to do one that's 5 foot by 5 foot. So it's going to be a pretty big painting for someone in Hawaii. But yeah. So they can be pretty big. You know, this order will be a variety of sizes, but is a big order of artwork, you know, to just be landed out of the blue. I mean, I did absolutely not see that coming at all. It was a real surprise. Yeah, amazing.
So exciting.
Oh my, I could not believe that, you know. It's just like amazing.
Oh yeah, God. It's like a year and a half commission, right?
Year and a half, nearly 2 years of work. Yeah, incredible. I mean, wow. That's
an instantaneous manifestation. Good job.
That is instantaneous, really. Before we even went to sleep. We didn't even have to wait for the course to be over, you know.
Yeah, so you live in Spain, so this is an order for a hotel in Portugal. So there are international opportunities. I mean, that's just amazing. Yeah, truly remarkable. Really. So can you tell us a little bit about this painting that you did for the Global White Lion Protection Trust?
Yeah, I work because I sort of have connections with animal communication and South, and the people that I'm with. Some of them are in South Africa, and I have a real interest in the wildlife in South Africa, and specifically this protection trust. It's run by Linda Tucker, and she's taken it upon herself to help these white lions, which are not recognized as protected animals in South Africa. So, and there's only 13 of them left, and they're not tame, they just protected because there are poachers coming in every day, laying traps, and it's a big job for them to keep them safe. And these are really sacred and holy beings, these white lions. They are really, really amazing. And I've felt like I've really felt a calling to help them in some way, in whatever way. So I did a portrait of two of the females, females. They were sisters that she had rescued. And there was a story that's linked to that as well, which I suppose you can look that up on Facebook or on the internet, and they needed to raise money to create a bigger space for them and to help them, because she had just taken them on and she didn't have, you know, they need to create like what they call bomas, which are big enclosures for them, so they can roam around in, and they really just rely on donations and funds from outside. So I did this painting for them to auction, which was really successful because somebody bought it in the end for $8,000, which is amazing. It's amazing.
And they can see that on your website. Do they have that?
They can see it on the website. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so Gaby.
And then part of that was also the message from the white lions to humanity. You know, there was a message in that painting that kind of came through for people. You know, because weirdly, I mean, interestingly, the lions are using that image as a portal in a way. People who are connecting with it, the lions are seeing them, they're connecting with them, and these white lions are highly telepathic, and they help people on their paths, actually, which is really interesting. So I encourage people to connect with white lions, and to care for them. Yeah, they are beautiful beings, really beautiful. I mean, all of nature. I've
actually got to feed one with a bottle.
Wow.
In Southern California. Yeah. I play with some tigers with one of my friends who works with them, and a white little lion. It might have been a white lion. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was a lion.
Well, I tell you what, and part of this campaign is to raise awareness of what they call the cuddle to kill industry. So if people do come across lions and tigers or whatever that are around to be cuddled, to be really aware and cautious of, sometimes they are often taken away from their mothers and raised to be cuddled and to be walked with, and then eventually they are starved for their bones, or they are shot for trophy hunting. And this part of this campaign was to raise awareness because a lot of people don't know about this industry, and it's pretty rife in South Africa. It's a hideous industry, So that was sort of using what I could as a voice for them, so we could bring more awareness around this industry to people, because there's a lot of money that goes into this, and people who come to shoot lions, there's a lot of corruption around it as well. So the more people can be aware of that, to be aware of not going into places where you can cuddle lions or animals that, and they do say they're taken away, or the mothers have rejected them, which is not true. They are removed from their mothers and taken into these sort of farms. And so, just to be aware of that.
I felt when I was visiting these tigers, I felt very much like I wanted to use theta healing to help benefit the care of them. And in that certain situation, I wasn't able to do that, but I could see the massive potential of working on multiple layers, like with the people who are the caregivers, with the funding, with the education. I could just see that it could be multi-level, and then of just like creating awareness and safeguarding them and their future.
So that's what I'm really also interested in, using theta healing, all of this work with animals, animals everywhere, and nature. I mean, just everything.
Absolutely. And now you need to know how to do that through the healing, which you already know how to do a lot of things just from working with animals and working with plants. But I think that extra bit of going up to the seventh plane and doing some of the exercises that we teach you in those beginning classes is going to help you even be more precise and really deepen the connection. And I can just see, like, even with your paintings, wow, like, you already put so much intention and symbology and that listening to that nature and what they have to say, the messages in it. I can't wait to see what happens when you go up to the seventh plane before you start painting all of these things and see what comes through.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited about that as well. See, because that'll just expand that. It's an expansive experience, isn't it? It's going to bring in a lot of interesting things.
Well, I have a class that I've written. It's called Co-Creating with Your True Divine Nature Beyond Imagination, and it is about dealing with your creativity. So this class I have is called Co-Creating with Your True Divine Nature. We play with writing and art and movement, and dive into our relationship to our creative physical expression, finding those little blocks and areas that are tweaks or old things from the past, and looking how they're affecting us, primarily in the areas of, like, maybe perfectionism, procrastination, hesitation.
Yes, absolutely. I can relate to all of those things. That would be amazing.
Whether you consider yourself a fantastic artist or a novice, it's there. And I've noticed that's really related to how we were in school or in our families, because, I don't know about you, but I've been around a lot of kids, and all they do is do art. They just draw and they're creative. They make up stories. They write random stories all the time. What happens to us as creators when we're children? And so this class we dive deep into doing art and writing in motion, and we look into that, and then we look at those issues, we work on those belief systems, and we look at how those belief systems affect our capacity to consciously co-create with Creator.
Yeah.
And
Amazing.
it is profound.
Yeah.
And I basically learned this because I've done art for my whole life, and I studied to be an art therapist. And when I had my head injuries, I started doing art therapy to help me heal. And I was witnessing my connection, because whenever I used to do art, something would just come through me and I would create something pretty spectacular. And I would always wonder if it was going to still be there later on. So I would just work on one piece until it was done, because I didn't want to go back in, because I would go back in with a different energy. And when I started doing theta healing, I realized it was just letting the energy of creation come through me. And then there's this dance in that of trusting, of getting out of your ego, of like letting it flow through, of not fearing that energy is going to leave you, and all sorts of other things. Yeah. So
that's
it's a
sort of like
thing.
It's like the courage to create, really.
Right.
You know, I mean, I can relate to that. You know, it's just common. I think it's just a common thing to be afraid and judgmental around what you're creating and thinking it's not okay. And that's amazing, you know, and I sort of can do much more of that, you know, to go deeper into that, you know, definitely.
And then this is the other thing that I started seeing, is that then when you start selling your art, there's a whole other layer of pressure, of like external, you know, judgment and all this other stuff. So, you know, my wife started selling her art. I started selling my art. And, you know, I just watched what happened with that, and with two different people and their experience of it. In fact, in the very beginning, when I was doing theta healing, people wanted the art that I was doing to heal myself. They found it very cool. And so I started selling them at the different theta healing classes that I was traveling to.
Oh, cool.
Funded my traveling to be able to travel with Diana and Guy in the very beginning. And then that's how we became really connected. And I helped them edit some of the very beginning books and write up some of the classes. In the very beginning, it was because people like my art. It was crazy. So
that's beautiful. Of course I did. Sure.
I know. I mean, how do you do that? I don't know how it happened.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
The art pieces that came through were kind of they were channeled like future classes of theta healing. Actually,
yeah, I'm not surprised actually. Knowing you. Yes.
I was a little brain damaged, so it was extra special art, but.
That's beautiful, the best kind.
But I mean, it's like kind of a miracle, you know. I mean, I was kind of wounded. I couldn't, you know, teach my kids anymore, and suddenly I was selling my art and traveling around the world.
That's so sweet, Sky. That's really amazing. Yeah, how beautiful. Yeah, really beautiful.
But looking at like, then moving into consciously, okay, let's pray. Let's let this energy come through. What are we going to create? And just full on trusting that. Going into that bliss and just like letting it go and talking that inner critic back, and, you know, being gentle with self and just going into the exploration and the play and the fun.
Yeah. You definitely could go more into the art with your work. I'm sort of excited for you to do more of that. I can feel it as you're talking.
Me too.
Yeah. I reckon that would be really popular. People would love that.
Well, I hope to do that as like I've taught it as a retreat in Hawaii in the past, and so I'm looking forward to doing that again when we can get out in the world and doing that. But I think it's really important for us to be able to claim to reclaim our co-creative essence. And I think that you already do that so beautifully. In that,
I'm always looking for ways to do more of it. You know, it's interesting you say that, because I sometimes feel like I'm not doing it enough.
So tell me more about that.
Well, you know, I have my own judgments around my art, and even though it's interesting, I'm doing that like for the lines, for instance. Even when I was doing the painting, when I started it, it wasn't working out, and then when I realized I wasn't listening, because I started seeing images in front of me, and I thought, oh, I'm meant to be doing it like this. So I had to start again. And when I started listening, then the whole thing kind of just sort of took over, you know. So it's just about really listening, you know. And
and keeping your breath going. Have you noticed?
Yes. That's key. Yes, keep breathing.
You know, we have to breathe.
I know. But yes.
But like keeping that breath, like, because then when you get anxious or worried or stressed, your breath stops. Yeah. And spirit can't go through you. But
that's
just like
valid.
breathing, and there's a whole massive, amazing experience around that consciousness that I think people can often only feel when they're in that. Yeah. And so showing up to do art and be creative and letting that energy flow through is so profound. It's so healing. And I love so much that you tap into the energy of, like, for example, those Lion sisters and the sacred geometry and the message that they had to have. And now it's this cool portal of healing and expansion. And
I know, you know, I was busy painting and I thought, really? Because really initially I was doing this painting and it was going to be African. And my idea was how it was going to look quite African. And then when I saw what they wanted, I thought, really? You want this? This is not African. This is sort of pretty, it's girly. It's real girl. I mean, I love it. This is very me, in fact. And then the geometry that came, I thought, and I had to look up what they all meant because I sort of saw very specific things. So I had to kind of learn about. It was a real interesting message that they came in with. So that was fascinating. I mean, wow, it was a revelation for me as well. You know, it was a very epic message. Well, that was amazing. And I want to do more of that using these techniques, you know. Yeah. And anyone can do that, really. You know?
Yeah.
And it's profound.
I'm excited to see what you come up with.
Yeah, it's giving nature a voice, you know. You know. Really amazing.
So if you could give the world one download, Gaby, of a feeling that you'd like it to have, what would that be?
That would be for people to appreciate themselves, their bodies, and their feelings, and their lives. Yeah, to really appreciate themselves.
So if you would like that gift of a download that Gaby just said, just say heaven yes. We'll get Creator's perspective on that. Creator's definition of what that feels like in every cell of your body. And it's safe and it's possible, you know it, and you're allowed to do it. Oh, so it is. Just see that being taught to everyone in the world who would like to have that. Thank you, Gaby, for that. That's so beautiful. It has been such a pleasure having you join me on Leading with Light. I love what you're up to in the world. Oh,
thank you so much, Sky.
The planet needs people just like you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sky. It's been so beautiful being here with you. Thank you so much for inviting me to this. I love you.
My pleasure. I totally love you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been great. Yeah. I look forward to doing more with you. It's not the end. There's more to come.
We're gonna play.
Yay. Great. Very exciting. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for listening to Leading with Light. Part 2 of this episode of my interview with Gaby Hansen will be in a couple of weeks, so keep your eyes and ears open. And until then, lead with your light. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
You've been listening to Leading with Light. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode. And while you're at it, please leave a rating and review, and be sure to share it with your friends. Tune in every Tuesday for more exciting ways to help you pop into true divine connection and clarity, live in the energy of limitless possibilities, and delight in the love playground. Get your magic on and make this world a happier place. Yo.